Let's talk about like how you guys empower students. A lot of times, children with disabilities are often told their focus is on their disability.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, in some cases, what you can't do, or this,
Mm-hmm.
or I can't be a part of this because, But how do you get them out of that range and say, you know what, I deserve I deserve competitive employment.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's something they start with in the school setting. I think through the transition services that the school districts offer, young adults are really starting to learn that they should expect that they're going to be self-sustaining, contributing members of society. Now, depending upon the degree of disability, they may be able to do that fully. They may be able to play some role in that. But I think definitely that message has changed over time. And again, once they matriculate out of school and enter into the adult workforce or the adult service delivery system, which is, as you said earlier, there's no guarantees, there's no entitlements that somebody is going to have access to additional supports through that system. That's really, again, the message that is becoming more and more the one that people are hearing is not, what are other people going to do for you, but what can you learn to do for yourself?
Yeah, what can you provide to the company?
Absolutely.
Yeah, no one's going to feel sorry for you,
And that's the message we give employers too, is this is not a work of charity that they're doing by employing somebody. No, this is a valuable contributing employee who is going to yield long-term benefits for your business. They're going to be a capable employee. And as Kate said, we bring in the resources from our end at no cost to employers to help people learn to do their job. One of the benefits I always emphasize is if there is a problem with an employee or there's some concern, they've got an immediate person they can go to discuss that and try and resolve it when they're connected with an effort like ours. So if there's
they have the support through
they
you guys.
Absolutely have the professional level support from our staff, who isn't just somebody sitting at a desk that they talk to on a phone. Our staff are actually out in businesses with individuals, teaching them job skills, checking in with employers. It's a long-term relationship. And again, it's a great asset for a business because if there is a challenge or if a job changes and somebody needs to learn a new task, then it's our staff who actually come in and assist the person to learn that and accomplish it.
So on that note, one of the things that I did kind of mention, like it's not a daycare, and you guys say you go in and everything. So one of my concerns, and this has been in the news recently, is sometimes employers have a misconception that hiring people with disabilities means free or significantly cheap labor. What are some of the protocols in place to ensure that people with disabilities are treated fairly? And what do you tell your students if they find themselves in a situation where they are being treated unfairly, like all of a sudden they didn't get a check?
Sure. Well, and you're right. There is a misperception, but there's also some practices nationwide where people with disabilities are essentially a form of low-cost labor. There's actually some federal legislation right now that's looking to repeal some of the permissions that businesses are able to use through the Department of Labor to pay sub-minimum wage to folks. Through this effort, people are all paid in what we call competitive employment, meaning it's regular community-based employment, the same as any other person would have access to. There are some opportunities, particularly in school, but even on the adult service side, for people to do internships, which is, again, would be an unpaid position, but it's no different than any able-bodied, absolutely, any able-bodied person would do to build up their resume.
Able-bodied person. I like that term a lot better.
To build up their resume, to develop contacts, which, again, is part of our effort through our collaborative. So many people, whether they have a disability or not, the way you find a job is through who you know. And
absolutely.
So what we're really trying to do is expand our network of connections and partners so that if a person with a disability maybe doesn't have some of those contacts, through our efforts, we can get their foot in the door to a business who's going to be willing to give them a chance at that point.
So, is this program mainly for, I want to say, Dupage County, or is this something that can be accessed
Well, our collaborative works primarily in DuPage
Right.
County, but not exclusively. So, for example, if there's a business opportunity, in a neighboring part of Cook County and
Right.
Will County, which is in our area as well, we certainly want to take advantage of that. The type of services that we provide once somebody does get placed are available throughout the state, and I would encourage anybody who thinks they might qualify for some additional support to find a job and to keep a job based on them having a disability to contact the Department of Rehab Services. And that's a statewide agency.
Okay.
And what would happen there is they would do a little interview to determine if they thought the person was eligible. And if so, the person would come in, have a meeting, get assigned a counselor, and either that counselor or an organization like Ray Graham Association, for example, would then help that person to try to find and maintain a job. So whether it's directly through our collaborative or whether it's in another part of
Okay.
the viewing area where maybe we're not don't have as strong of a footprint, but definitely if anyone thinks that they would benefit from assistance to obtain a job, contact the Department of Rehabilitation
Department
Services.
of Rehabilitation.
Definitely.
Yeah, because one of the things, I mean, and this is for anyone, this is not just a person with disabilities, but everybody needs a network of support.
Absolutely.
No one
Sure.
no man is an island.
Sure.
So I mean, you definitely need that network and that extra support.
Definitely.
I
Definitely.
mean, I don't know anybody who hasn't gotten a job without like having somebody to go to. You know.
Definitely. And again, that's may not have as much employment history. They do really benefit from having the additional support that this initiative is providing them so that they can be long-term successful employees. And that's really our ultimate goal for people.
Going forward, I want to make you guys aware of the Making Employment First for People with Disabilities. They're located at 901 Warrenville Road, Suite 500. Liza, Illinois, 60532. Their number is 630-620-2222. And you can also visit www.raygraham.org. And this is the DuPage County Collaborative Employment Initiative.